Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. The Thursday DRF Bets race of the day is the Eastview Stakes for New York breds going a one-turn mile at Aqueduct. It's carded as race number 7, and if you sign up to DRF Bets right now, pretty good deal, $200 free bet, no deposit required. Head on over to drf.com/join and use the promo code FREEBET09. Now let's take a look at the field for the Eastview, Matt, and folks can head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Download those free Formulator past performances and handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order. And the number 1, Crying in the Moonlight, has just a beautiful pedigree, and he put it all together last time out for a fantastic trainer in Charlie Baker.
Yep, broke through the maiden special weight level. That was for New York breds. We're going to test, still New York bred company, but winners now this time around. And you're going to stretch out from 6.5 to a mile. I suppose the only concern, if you like this horse or you're interested in this horse, is possibly a pace dynamic. This horse, that only victory came in gate to wire fashion. There is a little bit of other speed in the race drawn to the outside. Kind of feel like Dylan Davis's hand is forced. I think this horse is going to be sent.
Extra distance shouldn't be a problem at all. She is a daughter of Street Cry, a half-sister to the graded stakes winner Giant Moon, also a half-sister to the hard-hitting multiple stakes winner Moonlight Song. Charlie Baker won this race a couple of years ago with last out maiden winner Stretch Out Absolutely. The 2 is Southern Gal going out for trainer Mark Cassey, and this one's going turf to dirt, but it's a move that Cassey has done very well, as we see from our DRF Formulator fact. Over the past year, with last out maiden winners moving from turf to dirt, Cassey is 4 for 7 with a $5.85 ROI, but well beaten by one of these in the lone dirt start 2 back.
That's the real concern for me. I don't know if this is a dirt horse or not. Now, I will say that run 2 starts back, sloppy sealed track. We'll find out what we get for weather at Aqueduct on Thursday, but I'm curious about the surface change. A little bit of a layoff. Now you got to try the dirt again. And you never know. There's no guarantee that just because this horse has shown good form in the past, and I understand on a dirt surface, no guarantee you can transfer over if you get fast dirt.
Number 3, Salty Smile, a little slow on the Beyer speed figures, earned a stakes placing while well beaten 3 starts back at Finger Lakes. But that shrewd trainer Rudy Rodriguez realized this horse needed a little bit of a drop in class last time out. She plunged to the $50,000 level. She got it done. It's nice to see that she can come from off the pace.
It certainly is, especially if you think that there could be some hitting early on and up front. But my big concern with Salty Smile is, boy, that field that she beat when she broke her maiden was absolutely dreadful. There's been nothing good to come out of that. She was 9 to 5 that day. She did what she was supposed to do. I don't think the distance is going to be a problem. The question is class.
The 4, Miss Jen's going to hope to compete over a fast track for the first time in her career. 2 starts, 2 off the turf races over sealed, sloppy tracks. Solid enough victory in the debut. I thought overcame a little bit of a speed-friendly wet track at Belmont. Last time out, though, no match for English Soul and Purely Lucky.
Yeah, going to have to turn the table on those 2 plus anyone else that shows up in this spot. Distance isn't going to be an issue. Again, it comes down to as well, the 2 starts have come over sloppy sealed tracks. You wonder ultimately if you get fast dirt, what are you going to get?
Trainer Mark Henning sent out some live 2-year-olds in recent weeks, both at Gulfstream Park and at Aqueduct. We'll try to send out another in the 5, Cause We Are Loyal, who finished an okay 4th, best ever career Beyer speed figure, first time Henning in her most recent start. And the runner-up Pure Silver is a solid enough horse that returned to finish 2nd with a 70 Beyer.
Yeah, you mentioned that 70 Beyer for Pure Silver. It's worth noting the winner in that most recent start in that stakes race, that was in gate to wire fashion. So maybe you want to say this one was a little bit up against it if you think that the pace held up that day. Distance, I don't know ultimately. I mean, I don't think it should be at face value a problem, but you see it seems like her best runs have come going much shorter than this mile distance. I know she's only tried it 1 time, and I suppose you can have some excuses for that, but at the same time, I ultimately wonder what is going to be her bread and butter distance-wise.
You mentioned the pace scenario, and as we throw up the Timeform US pace projector, you'll note that that red bar indicates that our friends at Timeform US believes the pace will be fast, and it will likely be set by the number 6, English Soul. Listen, this horse has raced twice on dirt. I don't think Ray Handel wanted this horse on dirt. When you look at the pedigree, she's by English Channel, but she's won those 2 races by a combined 21.25 lengths, and Handel's finally thrown his hands up and says, well, if she's okay on dirt, we'll just run her in a stake.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The only concern I have with this one is what I've talked about with so many of these other fillies. At this point, she's done nothing wrong on dirt. The problem is the 2 dirt starts have been over sloppy sealed tracks. Is that going to translate if you do get a fast surface? We'll find out. You know that she's got some big speed. I'm going to be very curious. Both of those wins gate to wire fashion. From that sort of outer post region? Are they going to be content letting the 1 try to go? I know the pace projector believes the 6 is going to clear off, or as we just talked about, is she going to clear off and try to just wire this field as she has in those other 2 wins?
It gives Manny Franco options to be sure. I'm sure that Manny's going to break running with English Soul and might play off of Dylan Davis in the 1 Crying in the Moonlight. If Dylan doesn't want the lead, I'm sure that Franco will take it on English Soul. Very impressive visually last time out. Won that race in ridden out fashion as the even money favorite over a couple of these, and in some ways is the horse to beat, although you're taking a fairly short price on a horse that's never run on fast going. The 7 is Miss Mystique. This is a half-sister to the solid Maryland-based performer Brenda's Way, a stakes winner. Stretching back out again, no match for Burning Rose, 2 back with a 51 buyer. She's slowly creeping there from a speed figure standpoint, but she still has work to do.
Yeah, she needs to improve. I kind of like this filly a little bit. I think there's something here. The problem is she just is slowly inching forward. She's going to need to take a pretty significant step forward. But as we talked about earlier, she is coming out of that race with the winner won in gate to wire fashion, and Pure Silver was forwardly placed. If you think that pace held up, maybe she was up against it.
I wonder if Purely Lucky might be the right price horse. Big connections, Brad Cox, Arad Ortiz, big pedigree, a half-sister to Very Vegas, who banked over $480,000, All Man, who banked over $365,000, and also a half-sister to Manhattan Dan, a very fleet multiple stakes winning turf sprinter. No match for English Soul last time out, but it was over wet going.
Over wet going, and if you think there's going to be more pace signed on, this filly's at least shown that she can sit a little bit and maybe could take advantage. If she takes up that sort of stalking gear, maybe she's the one that gets first run.
How about the 9, Rachel's Blue Moon? Not only does she go out for a fantastic trainer in Jimmy Jerkins, who, as we see with this formulator fact, does very well going turf to dirt. The past 2 years winning at almost a 30% clip with a positive return on investment. But this filly's got a big dirt pedigree. The dam won 3 New York bred stakes on the dirt and was 3rd in the Grade 1 test. The second dam won 4 stakes on dirt against New York bred competition. She's got a dirt pedigree. She came from off it in her career debut on turf. 10 to 1 on the morning line. She might be the right stranger.
Yeah, she might be the new fresh face in here that you want to take a shot with. You brought up the dirt pedigree. I don't have any concerns about that. The concern I have, as nicely as she won in that debut, she beat an absolutely horrific field thus far anyway. You haven't had a ton of horses come back, but the ones that have, they barely resemble the thoroughbred breed at this point. So you're going to have to think that she's going to face better horses. Maybe she gets a good setup. Maybe that pedigree kind of shows through. At 10 to 1, I'd be interested. Anything less than that, I'm going to be a little bit tepid.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Thursday DRF bets race of the day, the Eastview Stakes. You're going with the 1, Crying in the Moonlight. She's one of 3 that I would use in equal weight and multiple race wagers. Something tells me that even if she doesn't get the lead, she's going to sit successfully. Charlie Baker's a really good hand, and this horse has got a big pedigree.
And, you know, maybe it's being too simple-minded looking at this race. I feel like there are so many horses that have been meant for the turf or have run on turf. This filly both times, both starts have been on the dirt. She's run, now the debut wasn't very good, but I'm going to give her the pass there. That most recent start, I have no knocks against it. Got to stretch out in distance. The pedigree is there. High profile, or I should say, nice connections anyway, quality connections with Charlie Baker and Dylan Davis. I'll take a shot, hoping that the 6 doesn't get too crazy, and if they do even, let this one go, maybe the 1 can sit a little bit.
I think English Soul's the most likely winner on paper based on what we've seen from her 2 dirt starts, but there are major question marks about whether she truly is a dirt horse. Both of those races washed off the turf on wet going. I wouldn't take anything less than her 3 to 1 morning line, but I think she's the most likely winner. But for me, this is more of a multiple race wager where I would use the 1 Crying in the Moonlight, the 5 Cause We Are Loyal, who might benefit if the pace is fast, and the 6 English Soul. If you are playing the Big A Thursday card from home, again, please sign up to DRF Bets. You'll be rewarded with a $200 free bet, no deposit required. DRF.com/join, promo code FREEBET09. An approximate post time for the Eastview. Race number 7 at Aqueduct on Thursday, 3:34 Eastern. Good luck.